Well, it's old Pops again, and I'm looking at you here from over the top of my steering wheel. From the beautiful hamlet of Woodbury, Tennessee, for the second time, and I am smoking my Ghibli, and I will be off and on along with my meerschaum for the next 25 days. With Carter Hall for the the Codger Challenge 2023. Thanks to Mr. Paladin Piper Patrick. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm going to win it. I'm going to win it. Seen some folks jump in late. Seen some folks drop out early already. I'm in like Flynn, because I'm going to win. I might not win. I don't care. I'll either win or I won't, but I'm in it for the long run. I had my brother ask me the other day, actually a day or two ago. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. He told me that he had been going through some of his old tobaccos, a box of old tobaccos that he found, and he's a big Cavendish fan. He loves Cavendish, and he found a box full of Cavendishes that he had tried and liked and just didn't finish, but you know how you do. You take things that you tried and just didn't finish, and you put them in a box or a bucket or a bag or whatever you put them in. For me, it's a box. And if I don't like them, I'll dump them in a jar and put the lid on it. And then dump, I never throw anything away. I always dump into a jar and then dump on top of that and dump on top of that and dump on top of that. And then I mix it all up at the end of the year and see what I got. If I don't like it, why, I keep dumping on top of it. Eventually, it'll be old enough and mixed up enough to where it might be something that I like. Who knows? But I don't throw it away. I got a jar at the house that's close to 5 years old. It's tailings from different stuff. But anyway, he told me that he had found a box of different black Cavendishes that he had set aside to finish later. And some of them he remembered, and some of them he remembered liking. And he invited me over to try some of them. Told me to bring 2 or 3 pipes with me. I told him to set that box aside and give me till the 21st of May. He asked me why. And I told him, I said, well, I'm participating in the Codger Challenge. He said, well, ain't nobody going to know. He said, just don't film it. I told him, I said, no, man, it don't work that way. I'll know. I'll know. I'm going to do this. I like Carter Hall well enough to stay with it. I want to see if I can do it. You know, I'm sure that after 31 days, I'll be ready for something different. But maybe not. I smoke plenty of Carter Hall. I watched a real good video this morning. Johnny, Onion, 2 a.m. pipe on the patio, did a new video about where he was explaining his pipe and his tobacco. Said he was going to do more of that. He used to do that a lot. Said he's going to do more of it. But he was explaining his Peterson spigot and G&H brown flake scented. And I asked him a question about the difference between brown flake and dark flake scented. And he sent me a text and explained the difference to me. And I thought that was a real good video. For those of you that don't know the difference, I didn't check back to see if he explained it in the comments, but he did send me a text and explained it to me. For those of you that were wondering the same thing, what he said was that dark flake was just a little bit stronger and a little sweeter taste to it. I found me a little different spot to park this time. She's in there doing more community service work. Gracie Mini-Me is in there doing a little more community service work. She has 4.5 hours left to complete her community service work. She's going to do part of it today. And then Saturday, her best friend, Cody, is going to bring her back up here to do the last 2 hours. She's going to do 2.5 hours today. And then she's going to have 2 hours left, and he's going to bring her back up here on his way to see his mother and drop her off and then pick her back up. But anyway, I found me a different place to park today. Last time, I was parked down there on the end of the library in a handicap spot. And turns out, in that shrub row down there, they got wasp nests. A couple of them, I guess. But it was down on the end of the building where I wouldn't be bothering nobody or anything. I don't reckon I was bothering anybody to begin with, but I sat there for 3.5 hours. I smoked me a pipe. I did a little carving, and I stabbed my thumb. It's feeling much better. I'm gonna do a little carving today. But I just acted normal, and I had a few red wasps fly on off into my Jeep, and they buzzed around in here. I had one or two of them land on me, but it's like my granddaddy always told me, if you just leave them alone, they'll leave you alone. And sure enough, they didn't bother me. There was one or two of them I blew a puff of smoke at. They'd shiver a little bit and freeze, and then they'd fly off. She went yesterday to the Oakland house, the Oakland Historic House, and did some yard work for them and got 4.5 hours. She come home just tired as she could be, and she was just stoked. She said, I only like 4.5 hours being done. And I asked her, I said, are you too tired to just sit? And she said, no. And I said, then call the library. And I said, call that library. And she got on the phone, called the library, and I said, all right, I'll take you to Woodbury tomorrow. I said, you can just sit there and search for them skips and them tapes, because that's what they got her doing. And people bring back tapes and DVDs that they say's got skips in them, and they have to research all that and code it into their computers at what time the skip is, because the people don't tell them. They just bring it back and say, there's a skip in this tape, there's a skip in this DVD. Well, they've got to find it, and they got to code it into their computer. Well, first of all, they got to know where it is, and know what, where the time code is. So they have to sit somebody down to watch it and to find it. She's been doing that. Well, one of her favorite authors is James Patterson. She loves his stuff. And they had an audio book come back in. They told her there's a skip in this. So they gave her a James Patterson audio book and said, we need to find the skip in it. She broke into a big old smile. She said, Dad, today I get to listen to that James Patterson audio book. And I said, you think you can listen to the whole thing in 2.5 hours? And she said, Dad, I can read one of his books in 2 hours. And I said, but do you think he can read one in 2.5 hours? Because that's what you got to count on. Anyway, he's got one that he wrote with Dolly Parton called Run Red, Run Rose, Run, or something like that, that I'd like to read. Not because it's his, but because she helped him write it. I'd just like to catch that. I'd like to read it. He's got a series out, too, called The Women's Murder Club. And it's about a detective, a woman's detective, and three of her friends. Her name's Lindsay Boxer. And there's 21 books in that series. And Gracie's got all of them except for book number 15, 16, 17, and 18. She's missing those four. But she's got 19, 20, and 21. So we got to find used, and we got Grumpy at Grumpy's bookseller. We got him looking for 15, 16, 17, and 18 for us. And we found every one of them except for book number 21. We found every one of them at Grumpy's bookseller. And number 21 just came out last year, and I bought it brand new for her at Books A Million when it first came out. I bought it brand new and gave it to Gracie for her birthday. And I've read the first 15 of them, and I'm not a big James Patterson fan, but I saw the first one was actually, it's kind of like Star Wars, they're out of order. But the first one was actually the second one in the series, and the second one was actually the first one in the series, and then it picks up with the third, fourth, fifth, in order after that. But I saw I guess it would have been the second one, which is actually the first one. They made a movie out of it, and I saw it on TV. And decided, hey, that's pretty good, So I watched the movie and decided, all right, I'm going to read this series. And I read them all the way through number 15. And, of course, we don't have 16 or 17 or 18 or 15, 16, 17, and 18 we're missing, so. When we get them, I'm going to read the rest of that series. I'm going to read all the way through it. I hear he's in poor health. I hate that. I hope it's wrong. I hope I'm dead wrong about that, because I ain't read nothing else he's done, but I'd like for him to write some more of that Women's Murder Club. They say you can take... we've got them all in hardback, but they say you can take James Patterson paperback novels to the jail, any jail, and sell them and cigarettes and candy bars and things like that, and sell them for like hotcakes, because the prisoners and inmates and stuff just love James Patterson. They think he's just gold. But if we had any paperbacks, well, that's what we'd do. But they won't let them have hardcovers. Well, they will, but they'll rip the hard cover off of them. And I hate to see anybody destroy a book like that. So anyway, we don't buy soft cover books, and that's a shame, because some books aren't put out in soft cover. In hardcover. Some of them aren't printed in hardcover. Anyway. That's all I got right now. This is going on to 20 minutes. So I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna get busy carving. Make a mess here in the truck that I'll have to vacuum up when I get home. But anyway, I'm Ole'Pops. Y'all be good to yourselves. Take care of each other. Much love to you. I'm out of here.